Mike Milbury, how are we doing this week?
Good morning. But Susan Boyle and sexual innuendo doesn't really go together for me.
It's not the case. That's not how you feel about
I
it.
mean, maybe for Curtis, but not me.
I mean, I have to tell you, she has the voice of an angel, Mike. I mean, she really is a dynamo.
She is. She's terrific.
I think we all agree. Just not enough sexual innuendo at Christmas time.
I have a quick question, Mike. When you were playing in the 70s, was there a setup where you could have music of any kind in the dressing room, or is that a newfangled thing that came with like the boombox?
We did have music in the dressing room, and I mean, I can't remember exactly who was in charge or if it was just a radio pumped in somewhere, but yeah, there was music playing.
Oh, good.
And it got stomped out about half an hour before game time.
What were you guys listening to?
I don't know, whatever was pertinent in the day. I mean, I'm not that much of a music guy, so it doesn't bother me one way or the other. But I mean, I like my Christmas tunes, but as far as getting pumped up for the game, it didn't work for me. I had other things on my mind.
Yeah, no, I can only imagine. So let me ask if this bothers you. If that wasn't bothering you, how about all the blown 1-goal leads for the Bruins? Right, 3 out of the last 4 games, I think they've held a 1-goal lead going into the third period. Lost that game eventually in overtime. They're still getting points. Do you see a commonality there in some of the leads they've let get away?
You know what? There's a lot of things that go on with this team. I was thinking about it because as I come on every week, I try to sort of review what they've done in the past few games. And, I don't think they're physical enough. I don't think their awareness in the defensive zone is really great. They've lost 2 centermen, one of which is going to be in the Hall of Fame. The other one will get consideration, Krejci, to be in the Hall of Fame. And we keep nitpicking at them, and I don't know, maybe it's the Christmas spirit that I'm in, but give this team a break. They're the top 4 team in the league. They're the second least goals against, I think, and their penalty killing is terrific. They're middle of the pack in scoring goals. You'd expect that when they lost all these guys. But yeah, it concerns me that they've lost, these leads. But given the fact that they've suffered so many personnel changes, to be where they are is really incredible for me. For them to be riding at the number 4 spot overall in the league is a remarkable feat. I guess we got to give them a tip of the cap and give the management team a chance to sort of see where they're at and make some changes going forward so they can get it even and better than they have been so far.
Mike,
Yeah, go ahead, Courtney.
What's confusing to me is, and we've talked a lot about Swayman and Ullmark, but Ullmark was saying after the loss to the Wild, he's letting in too many goals. It does seem like it falls apart in the third period, but you've got 2 guys that are almost splitting time, so it's not a fatigue thing when it comes to these 2 goalies.
I don't think you can point the finger at the goalies for almost anything. They've been great. They're the reason that they're the biggest reason that they are as successful as they've been. I haven't seen any real pattern of leakiness to either goaltender. I see it in front of them. I see people not paying attention to their defensive responsibilities or letting them go in certain situations that give people opportunities. It's not in the goaltenders. They're the backbone of this team and continue to be again this year. But they can't score goals, and that's basically what the Bruins need is more offensive pressure, less time in their own zone, and more production.
Mike, can coaches evolve and become less of a player's coach and still retain the trust of the room?
It's a real tough call. I mean, you kind of are what you are, and if you try to change based on circumstances around you, people, I think, lose trust. They don't know what to expect. I mean, if you are a soft coach one day and a hard coach the next day, it's confusing for the players. They want some consistency from the guy that's calling the shots. They want honesty and stability. And if you try to reinvent yourself, it becomes problematic. I'm not saying that's the case with Montgomery. I know he's been a little tougher this year than last, but he still has maintained that sort of even-keeled and mostly friendly approach to the players.
What were your thoughts on Patra playing in the World Juniors and being allowed by the Bruins to play in the World Juniors?
You know what? They can afford it. He's looks like he's going to be a really good player. He's talking about a guy that's taken a hit from the coach. He seems to be picked on more than anybody. I'd like to see him get more ice time and with better players consistently, but I guess they're sort of grooming him in the way that they see fit. It wouldn't be my way, but it's their way. And he's shown flashes of being a terrific player. But you got to understand that at Christmas time every year in Canada, people shut down to watch this World Junior Tournament. If you're not there, if you haven't experienced it, it's really a remarkable thing. I mean, everybody seems to gravitate to this tournament, and for him to get the opportunity is terrific. I think the Bruins did a good thing by him. I think he'll earn some trust and some credibility with the Bruins because of their ability to say, hey, listen, we know what it's like to be a kid your age and go have a good time and, win some hockey games in the tournament. And, they're not going to suffer because he's gone for a while. He may come back with a new level of confidence if they're successful. But for them to do it is just it's a great thing for the kid. I think it's a great experience. It's a dream come true. And, Canada across the country will have eyes riveted on that tournament, and he knows it.
Lauko looked pretty good in that Wild loss. He said that the reason behind that was because he finally got the green light to be able to fight again. How much do you love that physicality from him?
I think, he and Frederick bring it every night. I would like to see more guys bring it. But to have Lauko back in the lineup and to be able to do what he needs to do in order to be effective is a real plus for the team. And, maybe they can find a way to shed that, kind of, I don't know, I'm not going to say flimsy, but I'm going to say sort of weak image that the Bruins have right now. They need to be more physical. I mean, when Florida beat them last year, they pounded them, and the Bruins fell backward. And they need to find a way to push forward with physicality, and they may need some more beef up front, and Lauko certainly can deliver.
In honor of Wiggy, because he's had a tough 24 hours, what are the chances that one of the goalies gets moved this year?
As I said, I think you got to give these guys some time to make some adjustments, but I don't think, if these guys keep putting up statistics the way they're putting them up, they're going to look for, number one goalie money, and you can't pay number one goalie money to two goalies. You're going to run out of money because of the salary cap, and it's a hard cap. So I don't know if it's going to happen this year, but within the next year, 2 years, you're going to see one of these guys go, and I would think it would be Ullmark because Swayman is the younger guy, and right now he's the cheaper guy, and I think he's the better guy, but not by a whole lot, as Ullmark's been terrific. But if I were them, I would be knocking on doors, but there's no urgency to make that move, and they want to make it for hopefully a up-and-coming centerman or something else that they feel that they need, and it should be a high-value target that they're looking for.
So would you say that the reason Ullmark remains on the roster is because they didn't get what they wanted? In other words, it's not that he was never shopped, it's that they never were offered what they thought would be a fair compensation.
I don't know the answer to that, obviously, because I'm not, listening to Don Sweeney's phone calls, but I would think that,
Well, you've been around the team a bunch.
I would think they would be shopping him. I would think that they would be looking for things, but no urgency. And if they haven't moved him, it would be because, they haven't got enough value for him. So, but, I think to have the chance to play these two goaltenders like they're playing, and playing at this level is great and gives them time in other areas to make adjustments and make changes. But eventually, I don't know how they're going to afford both of them. And, when they get the right situation, I think they will make a move. What's Ullmark got? He got one more year until he becomes unrestricted. So I would say that would be the timeline as far as I'm concerned.
So when you say moving Ullmark, and you've mentioned the centerman before is a potential need, does Ullmark have the value?
It's not a potential need. It's definitely a need.
Centerman?
A centerman.
Do you
Yes,
play,
you
and,
can,
you, and you prioritize that over a wing, like a scoring wing.
I do. I mean, you've got one of the greatest wingers in the game in Pasternak, and another one in Marchand, and other capable wingers. But the heartbeat of a team is through the center ice. And, I applaud Zacha and Coyle for stepping up and playing at a different level than they've been playing at in the past. But it still isn't number one center level as far as I'm concerned.
So they need to go get one, in your estimation. Is Ullmark enough? Does he have enough value singularly to get that, or would that be part of a package? Like, does he carry enough value to get that type of return?
If you play on a team that doesn't have a proficient goaltender, you know how valuable a goaltender can be. I mean, he can save a lot of bacon for your team. He makes up for a lot of mistakes that the teams make in front of him, and you got to have it. If you have an average goaltender, you're never going to be anything but an also-ran. And so, yes, I think alone he brings terrific opportunity and value for the Bruins, because there are plenty of teams out there that need quality goaltending, and if they don't get it, they know they're never going to be what they want to be. So I think he's been that good over the last couple of years.
Mike, I got to know, because you're a dirty martini person like myself, what is the drink of choice for Christmas Eve and Christmas Day for you?
Well, a little champagne has to go a long way
Right.
in this environment.
Of
and,
course.
And at the end of the day, there's nothing like a little shot of Jameson.
Ooh. Wow.
Warms the cockles of your heart.
Gets the
Courtney.
day going.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Shime, so you're a singer.
Yeah, but I dabble.
It's a crooner.
Well, let's hear it.
Put me on the
Something.
spot, right? I mean,
Give me anything.
Mike,
Please,
I
Carol,
have
come on.
sang on this station 35 plus times.
Let's
and
go.
You've never heard
We'll make
one
it
before?
36.
Yeah.
I wasn't prepared for this. My
just-
throat's still all croggy. It's
Have yourself
man,
a merry little
that's
Christmas.
Weak ass stuff.
what do you mean weak ass stuff?
I mean, let's hear something. I
Yeah.
mean, Susan
Yeah.
Boyle would do this on the spot.
Acapella, it's not going to sound great.
Come on.
No, we don't expect it to. We want to hear it, though.
Have yourself a merry little Christmas.
It's nice.
Save it for the
May
shower,
your
will you?
heart be bright.
That's
Yikes.
not bad.
I think that's pretty good. No, you don't like it, Mike?
It's average, but
Get the music behind me. I told you, I'm more of a performer than I am a singer. So it's really about the performance, Mike, right? As long as people come and enjoy the show, who cares if you're good at singing or not? They enjoyed the show.
Mike, next time, a few shots of Jameson. Maybe that'll kick it up a couple of notches in your book. It'll go from
I
average
got
to
it.
above average.
I'm good for that. You guys have a great holiday. Have
You
a great
too.
Christmas.
Merry Christmas,
All right,
Mike.
Merry Christmas, Mike.
Merry Christmas.
Have
Thanks so
fun.
much.